Hey everybody, what's going on? Hope you're having a good weekend. Sorry I can't be with you live right now. You know, I stay busy on the weekend with the cooking and the washing and the cleaning. It's a crazy time. But I hope the weekend goes well for you. And I thought what I could do was set up for a little entertaining evening for you guys with a little family collective message followed up by a couple of just cover songs. All right, just a little something to set the tones and have a Saturday evening. All right, so thanks for being here. Check out the other premieres that are going to be coming up. And let's do a fan message. This is for everyone. All right, thanks for being here. Thanks for hyping all the readings, everything that we've been doing here, liking them, leaving comments. Even if they're just little emojis and stuff to keep your private life private, totally cool, totally awesome. Still helps the family and the channel, drives the algo and everything else too, and allows me to continue to connect and help you guys to manifest it. We are all in this together, and if you aren't already a part of the fam, consider subscribing. We are working to manifest 100,000 subscribers here for us by Christmas on December 25th, and if we can pull that off, when the 100K plaque shows up to the studios, I will actually wrap it up and we'll do a live stream, open it together, hang it up on the wall, and then I'll do some super chat personal readings for y'all, but no super chats required. And we'll just go like a Christmas party until I can't read no more. All right, so help get us there, and I'm looking forward to it because that plaque is not for me, it's for us. All right, we're already in the 80K strong and we continue to grow every day. And thank you for being a part of it. All right. Also, too, if you aren't getting notified, not just to my channel here, our channel, but to any of the channels you subscribe to, after an awesome little conference call with an awesome advisor over at AdSense, I did find out the biggest reason for it is because there are so many creators scheduling and releasing videos, doing live streams, and there's even more people on YouTube watching videos, watching live streams and such, that the algorithm, the computers can't keep up with all this notifications. It like backs up like an airport on Christmas Eve, right? But so the best advice he gave me to pass along the word to y'all here on YouTube's is to go through your subscriptions and leave the bells turned on. Make sure they're set to all of the channels you like to get notified on, and the channels that you don't need the notifications for. Like in my case, it's like the YouTube creator stuff when I'm in my Emperor energy doing the pre-production and the post-production for the channel, that kind of stuff. But then notifications are on for the channels like such that are shown on the homepage here on the channel or in the link tree, the channels I subscribe to, support, and trust, all right, the Archer Network. So those are the ones I keep the bells turned on to, all right? And it'll just help you so you get notified of the channels that you've been missing out on, all right? So let's begin. All right, God, tap me in, tune me into the family's energy, give me a collective all signs message, whatever comes out, whatever is needed at this time. And remember, it's a timeless message, so regardless of the fact that I'm pulling on the current energies at the moment, it is whenever it finds its way into your algorithm and you click on it and decide to come and hang out with us is exactly when you're supposed to. All right, that means you're in the energy. So let's go for it. I'm actually being told to use the shadow deck for this one. I wanted this one because it had colored pictures, but God says shadow deck. All right, pardon me. Buddha Squirrel still got his baby Bill out from some of the stuff we've been working on. So anyways, all right, God, I got you. Give me everything you got for the collective. And remember, whatever comes out, when you're with me, you are ultimately protected. You're ride or die, I got your back, and I'm your crystals. All right, let's do it to it. Give me everything you got, God. Whoa, that was a deck jam. That's a spinny hug here. I'm gonna grip you up, spin you around till your hair starts blowing in the breeze like you're in a Jeep with the tops off, Jeep wave. All right, so just a little something to help make you feel better. Okay, let's go for it. And remember too, Aries through Pisces, everybody's weeklies are available in the October playlist. All right, check out description boxes, pinned comments, link tree, and so on and so forth for details. But all right, give me 2 shuffles. Let's do this. Here we go. Fam message for everybody. Every sign, every placement, even Ophiuchus. Give me everything you got. Here we go. 2 shuffles. Let's do it. 1 and 2. Sorry, Buddha Squirrel. That was my Leo Venus. On that note, sorry, Buddha Squirrel. Let's love this deck for the fam's energy check. I cannot with you, Buddha Squirrel. Oh my gosh. Okay. Over energies, the King of Wands, King David, taking notes in his many notebooks, Sagittarius energy. Along with the Four of Swords, Libra energy, and not Jonah. Jonah was in a retreat into silence for a long time inside the fish. Anyways, Elijah's retreat into silence on the Five of Swords, King Saul's tragic downfall into the Five of Wands, Joseph with his Technicolor dream coat and his jealous brothers. They really liked his coat. Those fives are what I'm being drawn to right out of the gate. Ooh, with the Ace of Wands. Oh, we're going to talk about a way to gain some confidence out of some Five of Swords, Five of Wands trying times that you're going through while going through the 5 stages of grief. Like trying to stay positive while on your healing journey and keep that little bit of hope and faith alive. Keep that little spark lit inside of you, Ace of Wands. Okay, let's dig in. Start me off with 7 cards and we'll do whatever we need to. All right, I got the 8 of Pentacles, the Emperor, Virgo and Aries energy, 4 of Wands. That card has been stuck in me all week. The Twin Flame energy is still on high alert at Archer Astrology. King of Swords, the 10 of Swords, Gemini enters the chat, 4 of Cups, and Cancer not too far behind. Then we've got the 4 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands, into the 6 of Pentacles. Well, that was 9 cards, but I wasn't paying attention anyways. It doesn't matter. Anyhow, apparently this is what was needed. 4 of Pentacles, so Capricorn, Leo, Taurus energy, Cancer and Gemini, Aries, Virgo, Sagittarius, Libra so far, okay? So this is going to be resonating into those parts of either yours or your person's chart, all right? It's part of my job. I tap into both y'all's energies. Only as far as energetically allowed without asking permission. You have to respect people's rights when it comes to pulling on stuff like this, you know? Okay, let's start with Virgo energy on the 8 of Pentacles into the Emperor, because most people assume that it's easy to stay positive on one's healing journey. Like, how many times do you hear, oh, just get over it, or oh, just get over them? And it's not always that easy, is it sometimes, right? Especially when your whole heart's invested into them with the 4 of Wands, especially those of you that are on the Twin Flame journey, all right? Regardless of what stage in the Twin Flame journey you are, it can be a lot to work through. And staying positive, you know, it's not about wanting or waiting for a life to get better, right? It's not about a natural outcome of circumstances or anything like that, because people in life nowadays don't get what they deserve. They just get what they get, right? King of Swords into the 10 of Swords is what will get you up into your head all the time, all right? Samson getting a really bad haircut along with the King of Swords, the judgment of Solomon that came in the later years of his life. Some of you guys might have recently changed your hair up, or you got a hair appointment going down, even if it's just something like changing the color. Even maybe some of my guys, my males here, you've been noticing the salt and pepper coming in. Maybe your person gave you a couple of grays. All right. Actually, even for my females, I did pull a little feminine energy off of this, but it might be related to those of you with kids. That's like, Archer, it wasn't my person that gave me the grays, but it's the kids. Fair enough. I love reading for Geminis. Your weekly was awesome sauce, because I don't have to rainbow unicorn it with y'all. I can just be like, yep, here's what's up. All right. That's what gets to the 4 of Cups. The anxiety that comes in, the negative feelings that comes in, Jonah's anger, right? It's the whole, like, when the brain is wired for survival dominantly like it is, Cancerian energy entering the chat, it's very easy to be anchored in a fear, in anxiety, or in negative energies as soon as you step foot out of bed. Cancer does rule on the 4th house, right? The thing about it is the ability to overcome those feelings and make the conscious effort to, like, train your brain and train yourself to tell yourself that you're not going to just hand your day over to the first emotion that comes out of the gate, especially when the brain is wired to go right for a survival instinct and, like, always fearing the worst outcomes of whatever enters your mind that moment you wake up. 4 of Pentacles into the 7 of Wands, David versus Goliath. If David had woke up that morning being like, oh man, he's like way bigger, he's Goliath, I don't even stand a chance. Well, it's one of the oldest overused hyperboles in the book, but whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. Right? Right. Sagittarius, Leo energy, Capricorn and Cancer on that. So the whole thing on it is that when you make the choice to choose which emotion you initially embrace, that allows you to move forward, Capricorn energy, Even when you're saying to yourself in the Four of Pentacles, what's the use, Archer? Why even bother? It doesn't even matter anymore. Bohemian Rhapsody, nothing really matters. Anyway, the wind blows. Anyhow, sorry, Freddie Mercury. I hope you're okay with that. Six of Pentacles, balance, double checking, getting things in perspective, right? Realizing that positivity, Taurus energy, isn't the motivation. It's the reason for the motivation. And it's not fake to force it. It's actually very mature. I mean, that's like the definition of the Strength card. 88% of the world today doesn't feel that like facing the day every day. And yet they find a way to push through it. I remember I'm guided on this Emperor energy, Aries energy. My father actually showed up for a momento. All right, what up, Dad? But I remember the day he transitioned that I kind of lost it that day, of course. I was still young, and it was expected, but didn't like it. Now, I'm not a big sports dude, right? Like, I like watching it and stuff, but I mean, I can't play sports to save my life. I was a tech geek when I was a kid, right? I can automate and wire your house, boop, 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 no problema. Let me play with your computer for a little bit. I fix it up. I actually got told in kindergarten that I wasn't actually able to dribble a basketball. True story, ask Mama T. But the thing is, the day after he passed, I remember going out and shooting hoops by myself at a playground, at a school, on a Sunday type of a vibe, just for hours shooting baskets. And I don't think I made a one, but it was the way I processed through the emotions, all right? Example, Archer, example. Thank you. Miss you, Dad. All right, let me get some cards on this top row since I was guided back to it. Thank you. Two of Cups, Cancer energy shows up with Justice. Hi, Libra. Libra and Strength card on the Knight of Wands. Leo and Libra just entered the chat. I got chills. Was I not just talking about the Strength card? Oh my gosh, this is why I love what I do. Thank you. You're an awesome boss. Anyways, okay. So as we were talking about, it's the definition of the Strength card. 88% of the world today doesn't feel like facing the day and they push through it. But those who've taken control of the mind and kind of trained themselves to carry on and power through, that's when you realize that your brain's not in charge of you. You're in charge of your brain, right? It's the computer. It's the chat GTP. You're the programmer. You set the prompts. Some of y'all might be in IT or just like you like computers and stuff too. It's cool. But you set the prompts. That setting the prompts properly is what it responds to and what it believes in. And now you've taken command of yourself and now you're driving your chariot. Notice on standard Rider-Waite chariot cards, or actually on most chariot cards in most decks, they always depict the horses going off in opposite directions, right? Then Leo shows up with the Strength card after the chariot card, Cancer into Leo energy. Some of you guys might be Cancer Leo cuspers, or you got some strong Cancer or Leo in your big four, okay? Or your person does. For some of you, you both do. Oh, well, there you go, right? Poor Cancer and Leo, they're like the kids in the back seat of the station wagon. Back there arguing, trying to play I Spy something blue. It's the sky. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Well, don't tell me. You're not the boss of me. And poor God's up in the front seat being like, if you guys don't stop, I'm going to turn this whole universe right back around. Yeah, some of y'all are dealing with a Cancer or a Leo. Anyways, you realize that the chariot or the horses aren't in charge of the chariot, but you are. And that's when you take control of those horses that are pictured on said chariot card. And we already saw the Strength card. I'll be shocked if the chariot doesn't show up here. But High Priest, Taurus energy, now you know. Knowing's half the battle. When you live like that day after day, right? Hanged Man, Pisces has entered the chat. When you live like that day after day, you pick up on it as almost like a form of muscle memory, right? The feelings of sadness, the feeling of lack that can take over at times, especially when you're tired. Then the negative self-talk sets in that you weren't good enough or you weren't pretty enough, and you start Page of Pentacles onto yourself. But then the King of Cups to the Hermit that leads towards your Ten of Cups, more Pisces, Virgo energy on this as well. That negative self-talk sets in that you weren't good enough or pretty enough. And we don't have to entertain every single one of the 77 billion thoughts that cross our minds throughout the day, right? Pisces energy, 12th house vibes. Especially with that dominant core brain programming for survival instincts to always kick in. You know, it's the programming that we as humans always pick, that worst outcome that tries to drag us right back down to who we used to be, when it does take the brain 6 weeks to learn a new learned behavior, right? Put these guys down right there. Some of y'all, you or your person are born on the 11th or the 8th, the 18th, the 28th, the 2nd, 22nd, 21st, 12th and 5th, the 15th, the 10th, the 9th, the 19th, the 4th, the 7th, 24th, 17th, 27th, 16th, 6th, or 26th. Somebody was born in 96. Okay, give me more. Give me a little more, por favor. I don't speak Spanish. Why do I keep doing that? I literally had to skid by the skin of my bumper through Spanish class in high school. It was a requirement. College too. I know, right? Page of Swords. I never learned my lesson. Random Archer fact. Anyway, son de monte, vante bien ensemble. What? I don't know any other languages, I swear. Anyhow, the thing about this is, those 6 weeks, relearning the learned behavior, it can be torture unless you take control of your brain and kind of shape your own future. Esther saving the Jews. Book of Esther may even resonate to your story or some of the stuff that you've gone through over the course of your years in your life, you know? But the whole thing about it, your past, it doesn't define you, Page of Swords. Who you are at this very moment, while you're here listening to my goober mouth go off. That's who makes you who you are. This very moment is how everybody sees you, how you're being depicted. Something that happened 17 years ago, nobody knows about, you know? Except those that do. But oftentimes, it's not what defines you. It's what you learn from it, right? It's not about saying everything is fine until you believe it, but it's about believing and protecting yourself. 2 of Cups, the bond of David and Jonathan, in order to not allow toxic surroundings or toxic thoughts to really kind of live rent-free in your own mind that keeps you held back. 2 of Swords, Queen of Cups, into the Moon card. Pisces and Scorpio in the chat. Sagittarius and Cancer here with Aries and Taurus. And Aquarius just showed up too. Hi. This is about transformation with the Death card and the Moon card. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. The water energy is entering in. When you do try to continue on with the, oh, everything's fine, even when it feels like your world is, or your relationship, or your job, or your family are falling apart. And over time, though, positive self-talk does start to overcome the negative self-talk. Then you start living in purpose. 12th house energy, Pisces vibes, that's just the beginning of your abundant era starting, all right? Some of you guys, this energy has definitely been activated by the most recent full moon. Cancer, Pisces energy. Page of Wands into the 9 of Cups. Oh, the 3 of Pentacles. Your guardian angels are totally working on what you've been praying for. Wishing, hoping, and praying vibes. The hurt can 3D manifest as hurt, right? But if you focus on growth, even in times of hurt, building Solomon's temple on the 3 of Pentacles, Capricorn energy, along with the Feast of Purim, right? Then a new sense of meaning begins to emerge. Capricorn, Pisces, Cancer, Sagittarius energy, Leo and Capricorn. You start to find out more about the world and you and how it has affected you over the years, right? It's like you can either loop the failure on repeat like a record with the needle stuck in the groove, right? Or you can focus on learning the lessons from the experience. Page of Swords. Why were they brought into your life? Why did that happen at work? Why did your day go that way? And how can you go from it? Because if you put it on that repeating loop, it'll power drain your battery. And then your soul's battery gets depleted. That's a big power vocabulary word for me. Sorry, depleted. There we go. No edits. We just rolling on this beautiful bean footage here. Anyways, bonus points for somebody with plans for baked beans. I have no clue how that resonates, but it's fun. I like doing this. The whole thing about it is that once your spiritual battery is low, then it becomes very easy to focus on those things that you can continue to experience or you learn those lessons and you begin to grow a more stable, confident, abundant future for yourself. Page of Swords. Page of Swords isn't always the card of stalking, even though they are watching your social media, just so you know. But it's also about what you learned, what the entire experience that's on your mind right now has put you through. Because the energy can be translated for love, for work, business deals, friendship repairs, family problems, life experiences. Your neighbor hasn't returned your leaf blower yet. Just whatever, all right? It's all about how you choose to interpret the energy. World card on the Magician. Literally what I just said. 3 of Wands, answering the call of Abraham. The Magician of the World card, right? The thing about it is that focusing on your growth, closing chapters, closing cycles, as we all put it here on the YouTubes, on them interwebs, you can focus on learning the lessons and experiences in order to continue the growth and get to that more stable future for yourself. Focusing on your growth then fuels the reason that motivates you, Capricorn energy, out of the devil energy. That will, and I'm not connecting Capricorn to the devil. We need Capricorn to motivate us out of the devil energy with their cool little awesome billy goat legs, right? Okay, cool. Just making sure, just cool. Anyhow, this focus on the growth becomes the reason that motivates you out of the devil energy, right? And it allows you not to just shift your mindset, magician energy, but also to process your direction. I love it. Gemini, Virgo, Scorpio energy, Pisces, Sagittarius, Taurus, Cancer, Leo, and some Aquarius comes in. Gemini, if I didn't mention them, all right? Somebody's born on the 13th or the 31st, and we definitely got somebody dressing up as a nurse for Halloween. Do I really have to do that? Oh my God. King of Wands, embrace your Sag Neptune. To quote Animaniacs, hello, nurse. I cannot with you guys. I love you guys. I love fan messages. Oh my gosh. I am a grown man, for the love of goodness. The lovers. Gemini is just showing up with that 4 of Swords on the 7 of Pentacles that leads right into the 6 of Wands. Leo energy again. And Caitlin Petty showing up to the Country Music Awards getting Best New Artist 2025. Nice. The more you water and nurture yourself, the better it gets. 6 of Wands. The easier it gets each day. I mean, we never forget the pain, of course, but we do learn how to not let it control us, right? The brain's not a computer in that sense. It doesn't have a delete key. Once they're memories, right? The peace and love and that balance that has us ready to be the best person and the partner we can be comes out of the lessons learned. And also actually 7 of Pentacles, by not forgetting the pain. You experienced it for a reason. All of this will radically shape and change your future into something completely different, which totally different from what you've been experiencing. But remember, the Lover's card is about the choice, all right? And not just day-to-day choices, but the big choice that your soul set with God, that He has been lining your footsteps on the path for this entire time. And we're into your soul's blueprint. This isn't just a standard intuitive tarot reading. It's deep, all right? When you say you're not good enough, you believe it. When you say you're doing great, you believe it. Whatever our brain hears has very major effects on us. Gemini energy, 3rd house vibes. Even if it comes from our own pie holes. That's actually usually the biggest effector right there. It's just below your nose, right? But duality with the Lover's card, all right? Especially with the Magician too, Gemini and Virgo vibes. That looking at negative self-talk as reminders of where you've been in order to remind you to not let yourself get dragged back into something, but to continue forward, feeling like you have more meaning, more purpose, right? World card. That there's a reason for you being here on this journey. Even if it is a bit of a roller coaster, right? That's why Cedar Point in Ohio has a roller coaster ride named Gemini. Okay, just saying, you know what I mean? But the more you focus on leveling up and those around you expect you to fail, especially when they around you expect you to fail, well, even though you're tired, you're not letting yourself or your emotions win, right? People around you will try to bring you back to that level because nobody likes change. Growing pains suck, right? You can overcome it though and power through it. People will be like, oh, don't go through all that. Just stay in your same cycle where you're comfy. But it's like you're leading the way. The more you practice it, the more you practice the mindset, the easier it becomes as your brain retrains itself. And you close out old cycles, old mindsets, old ways of thinking. I love that for you. Final card. 9 of Cups and the 3 of Wands with the Star card. Aquarius energy, Pisces, and Aries shows up. Somebody here might even have a stellium in Capricorn or Pisces. And somebody's got a Cancer moon. Okay. But, okay. The one on your mind, Star card. Some of you guys, either you bought a star for them or they bought a star for you. Somebody got a star named after them. That's kind of cool. I dig that stuff. Don't think that you will lose your person, okay? Or don't think you'll leave them behind, that you have to put your life on a pause to wait for their return. Because they still have you on their mind too, you know. Remember the 77 billion thoughts our brains go through throughout the day? Theirs is doing it too. Everybody's brain on this earth does it. Frankie taught me. She said so. But even with what you two went through, 2 of Cups down here, right? Cancer energy, they do care about you. 9 of Cups, Pisces energy. And even with what you two went through deep down at their core, they don't want you sitting there dwelling on things until they return or until you guys work things out or apologize or get past this fight or this moment or this business deal. However it applies to you, they would much rather to see you more like how you were when you guys met, they're telling me. 9 of Cups. Before everything you guys went through got in the way of your spirit, that's how they'd love to see you when they come back or when you reach out to them, when you guys talk next. How you were when they first met you is what they're reminiscing more about right now than even whatever came in between the two of you guys. 9 of Cups, Star card, Aquarius and Pisces energy. Back when things were, when you guys were good and things were more on the right track. I like that. I know it's the oldest hyperbole of time healing all wounds, but in this case, it's that moment that gets your guys' mindset back on track and in order to be ready for the union you've prayed for. You guys have prayed for this for a while. 5 of Wands, one of the first cards we saw out that connected me into the energy with the Empress. Libra, Taurus energy on this one. And you know, in today's day and age, when the world does try to bring your rose-colored glasses down, just like Joseph, right? Even to shatter them right to the ground by cutting you down. Remembering to empress it and rise above it and maintain your positive habits and changes no matter what tries to stop you, which many who are comfortable in their uncomfortableness will try to stop you though. That's when you cut those chains that follow you around and follow your arrow to wherever it points. Remember, above all else, you're you. You can do anything. I love this for you. Thank you so much for being here, being a part of this. Please subscribe, hype, and like. And God, thank you for the messages we got for everyone. As always, we love and appreciate you for protection, direction, and guidance through any and all times. Thank you. All right, thanks for being here and being a part of this. And until next time, I will see you then. Peace and love. I'll see you for the other premieres now. Check them out or just check them out in the playlists. Cool beans. Anyways, like I said, peace and love.